Hey guys, how's it going? My name's the Breph, and welcome to another challenge video. Today I'm asking the revised question, can you beat Pokémon Fire Red with only a Chansey? If any of you are wondering that this should be a no Poké Center run in Emerald, then you would be correct. However, OBS decided that it wanted to record literally 5 frames a minute for about 3 hours, and therefore that whole run is entirely unusable. Seeing that I put many an hour into prep work for that run in terms of leperberry planting, I'm not looking forward to re-recording it. Alas, that will come next week, but this week we're pushing for something a little more simple. But as many of you may know, simple, however, does not mean easy. Not to play through, and certainly not for me. What you're about to watch is usually broken down into an entire week's worth of work, but I've had to do this in exactly a day and a half. As if that wasn't bad enough, Chansey has some of the worst stats I think I've ever seen. I am of course referring to that abysmal 5 in physical attack and defense. The fact that Chansey has more health than Mysterio in Spider-Man 2 PS2 is offset by the fact that it can take as much physical damage as Mysterio in Spider-Man 2 PS2. Its special defense is lovely and its speed isn't too bad, but the best attacking option we have is a 35 BST. Damn. Before we go any further, this run has already been completed by Satyr the Goatman, so please go and check out his run. His channel link is in the description as well. Go and show him some love. Now, we can learn some amazing moves by TM, including Thunderbolt, Psychic, Ice Beam and Flamethrower, but, and it's a bigger but than the one on Kim Kardashian, Chansey's level up moves include only 3 attacking options. Of course, those are Double Slap, Egg Bomb and Double Edge. Oh dear, they're all physical attacking moves. Oh well, this should be a laugh, right? Quickly running through the rules, they are very easy to follow as ever. Chansey only in battle, no items are allowed but held items are fine, HM slaves will be needed and TM use is allowed. With that, let's go. The game begins and we choose the male character, naming ourselves the inventive name of Breph. We get to meet our rival and name them OBS, because right now, OBS has caused me a lot of problems. Once we leave our house, we head into the professor's lab entirely of our own free will and gain access to the trio of starters, Bulbasaur, Charmander and Chansey. Points to whoever guesses which one we take. I was planning on naming it Mysterio, but it turns out to be a female, so I name her Donna, after her school dinner lady looks to match her now school dinner lady name. Actually, a dinner lady and Chansey have a lot in common: the caring nature, the lack of hair on the top of its head, and the short, round body shape. Well, now we realise quite how bad this is going to be. The challenge is sort of an inverse run than usual. The beginning is going to be hell and the latter portions should be more manageable. In preparation to take on Brock, I decide that I want to do the optional rival fight next to Viridian. As I normally do, I first attempt this fight at level 10 and just look how much damage Pound is doing to Pidgey. Oh my life, this isn't going to be fun. We do get to Bulbasaur, but we just cannot survive the encounter. I go back at level 14, having gained 4 levels and a grand total of only 3 total stats in attack and defense, and I believe 2 of them were in defense, so we are in a really difficult position. Sand attack make life a misery, and we needed to use soft boil to recover our health before finishing it off. But now we have to deal with Brock, and my god, I am not looking forward to this. To see how bad it's going to prove, I go straight away at level 18. We do manage to get through the Geodude, but we really do no damage to Onix, and our other moves would leave us in a terrible position. It was likely to end up with us running out of Pound PP, and well, luckily we failed anyway. We go back on a massive grind, and no, it wasn't fun, but speed up made it a touch easier. We grind up until we have 10 stats in attack. Wanna know what level we got only 10 attack stats? 34. At this point we have Minimize in our moveset, a move that functions identically to Double Team. I sat up with it and begin chipping away with Tail Whip, which is a harder task than it sounds thanks to Geodude's defense curl spree. When we get through to the Onix, we realise just how little damage we actually do. Fortunately, we get off a lovely set of Tail Whips and ultimately claim the first badge. Thank God. So from there I head on up to Cerulean City, opting first to take on Misty. Despite our terrible attack stat, we do actually win first time. The somewhat crappy accuracy of the move Egg Bomb makes it difficult, but we hit it twice to take out Staryu. At this point it was 2 AM and well, I just start using Minimize. I am an idiot, because I realise after a point that Starmie is using Swift, a move that can never miss. When I come to my senses, I start going for Egg Bomb, and after a while we successfully take down her second member. Doing that gains us the TM for Water Pulse, a special attacking move that has a chance to confuse upon impact. Donna has the Serene Grace ability, meaning secondary effects like this are more prevalent, so you can bet your ass we're going to be using it. Fresh from that, we head towards the Nugget Bridge, where Water Pulse can help us out a little bit against the fight with that bastard OBS. It can help here with Pidgeotto and Rattata, thank goodness, and when Abra comes out I do take the chance I have to get some free healing before the slog with Bulbasaur. This fight is a pain, I shan't lie. Having gotten off enough whips of the tail to make a dog jealous, Bulba is eventually weak enough to go down to a nice, well-placed Egg Bomb. I don't see this guy being too much of an issue in the future, but that's only once we pick up a very specific TM. Before we could do any TM collecting, we head over to Bill's and help the man turn back into a human after some crackpot DNA splicing experiment. And for a reward, he gives us a ticket to enter a boat. Cheers man, great reward. Well, we head down towards said boat, and on the way I hear whispers of a rave, with free alcohol and all the strippers money can buy. Unfortunately, that part of the ship is locked off to us, with us being a 10-year-old kid and all. Reminds me of the time I got kicked out of a wet t-shirt contest at Daytona Bike Week when I was 15. I still don't think my father has forgiven me for that one, and it's been over half a decade. To avoid the repeated mistakes of my past, I head towards the captain to try and convince him to allow us in. On the way through we bump into OBS again, who does its best to delay another release, this time by being a pure bastard to defeat. I genuinely believe that this annoyed me more than the entire Brock grind. Every time we manage to get through to the Ivysaur, but the issue is Leech Seed. Given how high Chansey's health is, each turn it can heal more health than I can deal damage with an Egg Bomb. So this took many attempts. Eventually we get a run where Sleep Powder doesn't make it impossible for us, and we overcome OBS and his attempted roadblock. Unfortunately, the captain threatens to have us arrested for trespassing on his party, although after a certain special rubdown where he agrees to cut us a break. Oh, I hate myself. With that, the boat sails on and we get a chance to fight Lieutenant Surge. The Lieutenant isn't actually a major issue. Thanks to our special defense and special attack, Water Pulse becomes somewhat of a sweeping move. We managed to get off a confusion on his most powerful Raichu, and through some stroke of luck, we hang on from a quick attack with 10 HP. With the healing of Soft Boiled coming in clutch, the third gym badge was practically guaranteed from the start. And now I head over to Celadon, grab the T and give it to the guard. We head into Saffron to grab the TM for Psychic. Thanks to this, I feel ready to go on and tackle Erica. We are so close to being able to one-shot Victory Bell, but unfortunately, no can do. We do ultimately take it down, despite paralysis hitting us harder than the effects of lockdown. We are also able to get rid of Tangela, and it's a Psychic Sweep when Vileplume goes down for the fourth badge to belong to Donna. We have a rather decent chunk of money saved up, so head into the game corner to buy the TM for Thunderbolt. An upgrade from Shockwave for sure, but the added paralysis chance along with Serene Grace, you know what? I like where this is going. Unfortunately, we won't get a chance to use it straight away because the next fight is against Giovanni. Huge thanks to Alistair Smith for highlighting my piss poor pronunciation in other challenges. At this point in time, the rocket boss is a pushover. Onyx and Rhyhorn go down to a single water pulse each. Kangaskhan though, that thing is a different story altogether. It tanks our hits ridiculously well. However, not even that thing could survive the brute force strategy that I love to adopt time and time again. And with the conclusion there, we head into the Pokemon Tower, and at the pinnacle we find Mr. Fuji, who we rescue from imminent harm. He rewards us with the Poké Flute, and now we jump into action stations. I run around the entire region catching as many Pokemon as I can, and eventually being in a position to collect the item finder. With that, we go to a Snorlax, run away from it, and use the item finder on the tile on which it lay. Here we find the leftovers, a held item that I will most definitely be using on Chansey. So with that, why don't we head on in to fight Koga. Koffing goes down to a single Psychic, Muck learns the hard way that Minimize can't save you from a critical Psychic either. The next Koffing follows the first, and Wheezing, like Muck, takes a 2-time helping of Psychic to make it back-to-back Psychic sweeps. At this point though, we have Surf at our disposal, and I head down to Cinnabar to tackle Blaine. Water Pulse isn't quite strong enough to one-shot any member, but nevertheless, a few pulses are enough to deal with most. Arcanine is a difficult one. Takedown hits us for a lot of damage. Luckily, getting a confusion off makes it easier for me to use Soft Boiled and recover some health. That, in conjunction with Water Pulse and Takedown recoil, downs the dog, and another shiny badge comes with us. So what remains to be done is skipping the Seviilds to make a beeline straight for Saffron and the Sylph Company building, where we encounter that tricky little OBS once again. By this point I'm foaming at the mouth as he tries to stall us away from the main challenge in this area, but at the end of the day, we've got moves for days, boys. Most of his team are in one way or another weak to us, which helps in the end to make this stall out a failure. OBS has been absolutely wrecked. Now the main point of focus here is that madman Giovanni again. He starts out with a Nidorino who somehow survives a Psychic. I honestly thought it would go down, but I was very much mistaken. In truth, Kangaskhan again proves to be the mother of all annoyances for me. Despite it only taking 3 shots to down, I was still scared. That crit at the end was definitely not needed, but you can take what you get at some points. With him done, we head deep into the bowels of the Psychic Gym to fight our 7th badge, Sabrina. She leads off with a Kadabra, which, in amongst its Calm-Mind spree, sets up a future sight to hit us for absolutely bugger all. If I'm honest, this whole fight is nothing but a time sink. We don't do a lot of damage, but at the same time we don't take a lot either. The easiest portion of this fight was Venomoth, where it's weak to Psychic. Still, after a while, and it was a fair while given the time taken for battles, we pull through. Now a question for you all to answer in the comments. Does anyone remember the name of that elusive 8th gym leader? All I remember is that this guy is a complete and total pushover. For some reason he decided to bring ground and poison types against an opponent who has Water Pulse and Psychic. Great plan there, mate. Fortunately for us, it only took us the one attempt here. Soft Boiled is amazing with the health recovery, and the rest, as they say, is history. Well, we head up to the Pokemon League, arriving at the Indigo Plateau at the meme level of 69. Type it in the comments now. Nice. I'm an impatient fucker and decide I'm giving it a go, so I head straight in to face Lorelei. She turns out to be a pain as well. Like Sabrina, she knows how to stall us out, switching out of Dugong and into Lapras for an incoming Thunderbolt, and her Slowbro just happens to be one of the best stallers in the game. Although it makes little difference to the end result, as her team, in the end, fails to destroy our power, and our dinner lady walks on through. And this is where our current run of 4 members ends now. Bruno, the fighting type user, poses a bit of an obvious issue. He uses fighting types. Shock horror. We're 2 times weak to their stab-powered physical moves on a Pokemon with 5 defense. All the health in the world cannot help us at this level, and my word did it take a while. So, having lost time and time again, we go off to do some grinding. I will skip all of the failed attempts here and kick it off with the winning attempt. Starting this run at level 85, we take down the Onix as easily as we did before. When Hitmonchan comes out, I hit Water Pulse hoping for the confusion, which I don't get, forcing me to tank a Sky Uppercut. Psychic gets rid of it and Hitmonlee comes out, eating up a Psychic itself when I'm sure a crit would have done it, and somehow we live the Brick Break on only 18 HP. Needless to say, Soft Boiled follows, and for whatever messed up reason he uses Facade? We take the chance to Soft Boil up again, and ultimately, after a short while, we get rid of it. For Machamp, I take a risk, hoping for confusion, which the Water Pulse successfully delivers us. On top of that, he hits himself in the confusion, and I am on the edge of my seat here. It does tank the Psychic better than I would have liked it to, but would you believe it? Confusion damage, baby. Onix is last and, well, forget that thing. We beat Bruno. Will anyone be surprised to know that Agatha really doesn't give us much of an issue? In truth, her team wasn't an issue at all, with everyone being weak to Psychic, and the only real damage dealt was a critical Sludge Bomb from Gengar. Lance is the final Elite Four member, and I've got Ice Beam in the bag ready for this. But for the lulz, I decide to try and see if I can do it with the moves we already have. Naturally, Gyarados goes down to a 4-time super effective Thunderbolt, with Aerodactyl following shortly behind it, although Water Pulse did have a part to play there. When Dragonite comes out, I brick it, but the special defense drop gave me hope, which was quickly dashed by the incoming Hyper Beam, and Donna survived the brutal blow on 32 health. I know he has to recharge next turn, so I take the free opportunity to try and get rid of it, although Psychic doesn't do it. We do get another drop, and well, now I need to heal, so Soft Boiled sees combat yet again. I hoped for Paralysis, but Thunderbolt also let me down. What's going on? Hyper Beam comes again, and I was half ready to press reset. But we hang on with 14 health this time. I obviously make the most and heal for free on the recharge, and when he uses Safeguard, the result was assured. The first of the last 2 Dragonair go down a lot easier than I expected with a couple of Psychics, and the final one did make things longer than it needed to be, with back-to-back Paralysis turns affecting us, but hey, the final Psychic actually did it. No Ice Beam required for the Dragon Trainer. So the final challenge is OB freaking S. He thinks he's so smug there at the top of the top, looking down on me, grinning, taunting me that I'll never be able to function without him. Well, I plan to prove him wrong. Unsatisfied at the state of this recording, I uninstall OBS. I shall not use it again. With my rage suitably built, we break through to destroy the champion. Pidgeot falls to a couple of nasty Thunderbolts before he sends out the Stall King Alakazam. When Paralysis is reflected back onto us and we fail to attack the next turn, I thought this was going to be the end of me. Fortunately for us though, we don't fall victim again that time and get to say bye bye to that thing. Rhydon's Earthquake is brutal and I was a touch scared, but we don't get paralysed, and easy as anything, a Water Pulse knocks it out. Gyarados comes in and I anticipate taking damage, so I opt for Soft Boiled. I didn't think a critical Thrash would leave me on 40 HP, but it did, and we don't get paralysed. The next Thrash is also a crit, but in the end it gets paralysed itself and also confused. Doesn't matter though, full restores are the end of that plan, and after a lot of back and forth we eventually managed to knock it back to whence it came. Arcanine was lucky if you ask me, with confusion followed by confusion damage followed by a crit. You know what? I'll take it. The last member of that bunch is Venusaur, but instead of damaging me, it uses Sunny Day. I think a Solar Beam is coming at me, but instead of that, with a special defense drop active, it uses Growth, and the incoming Psychic obliterates it, leveling us up to the ironic level of 2 fat ladies, 88. Rather fitting for our dinner lady Donna, if you ask me. At the end of it all, Chansey wants to evolve. It's been trying to do this every single level since before we even beat Brock. So as a reward, and a totally justified reward at that, I allow our Donna to embrace the sweet feeling of evolution, taking her from a Donna all the way up to the level of a Karen. At the start of this challenge, I asked a straightforward question: can you beat Pokémon Fire Red with only a Chansey? The answer is somehow yes. Even with that terrible defense stat, it is indeed possible. How, I'll never know, but still, it is possible. If I'm being real with you guys, this video has drained me, and I blame OBS completely. 5 AM finishes don't come easy, but I'm looking forward to putting my feet up after this one. Still, I hope you all enjoyed it despite it being so lastminute.com. Well, this is where we stand now, with the prospect of re-recording a run in front of me, including all the prep work. Needless to say, that will begin today, so for the second time in a 2-week period, join me next time where I will be asking the question: can you beat Pokemon Emerald's no Poké Center? Cheers Plonkerboy900 for that Discord message there in the middle of my recording. Can you beat Pokemon Emerald's no Poké Center run with only a Mew? Hopefully the challenge that was meant to be a bit of fun will actually turn out to be just that, and not the biggest pain in the arse I've ever experienced thus far. Regardless, with new screen capture software now installed, that will be happening, and I guarantee it. Like and subscribe for more content like this, join the Discord server, and follow my social media on screen. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.